Welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast, where we come together to raise our vibration, lift our perspective, and build a positive mindset. My name is Henry, and I'm so thankful to have each and every one of you here today because in this episode, we're going to step into our positive self. If you're tired of thinking, if you're tired of dreaming, and you really want to become, this is the episode for you. But before we get started, we're going to take a few moments to slow down, zero in. We're going to take some deep, healing, meditative breaths to help us align on the frequency that we want in our lives. So pick a word. It could be love, joy, happiness, abundance, whatever frequency you want. And we're going to take a deep breath in. And as you're breathing in, you're going to say this word over and over and over again. Really charge yourself up with that energy. And then as you're holding your breath, visualize yourself doing something in that frequency. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. We're going to take another deep breath. This one's about alignment, about getting ourselves in receiving mode so we can receive the message that we need to hear to get us in that positive space. So just imagine that you are surrounded by the most healing, uplifting energy that's meant specifically for you. It could have a certain color, a certain taste, a certain smell, however you imagine it. And when you breathe it in, it's going to charge you up. It's going to break down the negativity, the blocks, the weight, everything that's just been holding you back. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take another deep breath in. And out. So this message is powerful. This message is freeing. This message is hopefully the right thing you need to hear. Perspective is everything. How you perceive something is how you receive something. Once you take that belief into fact, that it's no longer something you think, it's something you know, it will change your life. Here's an example of this. Let's say I were to give you a book on, and well, some of you might be engineers, so this wouldn't be relevant to you, but if I was to give you a book on the most advanced studies of some kind of like aerospace engineering, something very specific, or on the opposite, something on the high like doctorate side of health or wellness, something that is something you've never studied. If I were to give you that book, it wouldn't make a lot of sense to you. It wouldn't be very valuable to you. But if I gave that same engineering book to someone that has been an engineer for 10 years, they've got their degrees in engineering, they're working in engineering, it's everything that they are about, that book will elevate their perspective and understanding. So if you listen to this podcast, if you listen to me or you listen to anything else, what you take away from it is a reflection of you, not the thing. Who you are is so much more important than what you are, like what you have on the external things. And so when you're thinking that I want a better life, I want a better car, I want a better bank account, I want better health, like we think about these things, we're thinking about the external and not who we are. If you want to learn to incorporate who you are into the now, it's really actually pretty simple. Think about your goals in life. Let's take 5 years from now, your 5-year goal. How much money you have, what your career is, maybe you're a business owner, maybe you're a professional athlete, whatever it is, your life, your family, all those things. Think about that version 5 years from now that you're very excited about. What would that person do if they did everything to get to that point? Financially or health, wealth, and happiness. They did everything to get to that point. What would they do if they woke up today in your life? And you might think to yourself, I don't know. I don't know what they do. Yes, you do. You know right now what it is that you tolerate that is in resistance to what you're trying to become. You see, if you were to get those external things now, if you were given the car, if you were given the money, if you're given the relationship, whatever those things, you would lose them. If you wouldn't, you would already have them. The laws of the universe are the laws of the universe. They're not the laws of the universe when you discover them, when you decide to believe in them. They're always happening. The law of attraction is always happening. The law of attraction has nothing to do with whether you're a good person or bad person, whether you're happy, sad, has nothing to do with that. It's just your energetic state and what you're attracting. If you attract wealth, it's because you have a wealth energy within you. If you attract peace, it's because you have peace energy within you. Whatever your external environment is, it's a reflection of you always. Again, it's not the book. It's the reader of the book that matters. So you don't need to get those things. You need to become that person. Bring that person into your life now and reflect on what's uncomfortable. Reflect on what you have to change. You see, if you bring that person now, and that person, maybe they're a millionaire. Maybe they have a multi-million-dollar house on the beach, on the ocean, beachfront, this most beautiful place. But you're looking at a job right now and you're saying, well, there's no way. I'm a single mom. I'm a single dad. I'm in school. I'm only 19 years old. There's no way I could have those things. I only make $15 an hour. How could I be a millionaire? You have to start looking at what's resistant to the goal and change it. Change your approach to it. If your goal is financial independence, you cannot keep showing up for an opportunity that doesn't provide it. Because the you that achieved it would not. It's not that they would try to improve that situation. They wouldn't tolerate the situation at all. They would not sleep until they were aligned with something that gets them their goals. But they are no different than you. It is still you. If you can see that for yourself, that is you. It's not your destiny to become the person that received the things. It's just your opportunity to operate in the essence of that version of you. And you benefit from the things. But you see, if you become that person, the fulfillment will not come from the external things. The fulfillment will come from within you. You'll love the things you have, of course. But it's not where your fulfillment will come from. So bring that version of yourself into today. Analyze. Sit with that version of you side by side. What doesn't align in my life? What must I change? What must I no longer allow in my area? If it's the job, you have to change it. If it's the relationships, you have to change them. Most importantly, if it's your mindset and thoughts, you have to change them. And I would argue those are the most important things that you have to adjust. You see, you can't think as you think now and receive as you're going to receive in the future. It's impossible. The law of attraction says like attracts like, or more importantly, like is like. The way you think is the frequency that you're in. Because you're observing those thoughts. Those thoughts represent frequency. So you have to start thinking like that version of you. When you start thinking, that's how you do it. You ask yourself, you bring them there, hey, what about my current life doesn't align? You have to be open to the truth because it's going to be uncomfortable. When they say that your new life will cost you your old one, it means your new frequency will cost you your old frequency. And all the things in your life that stay on that frequency can't come with you. They can't. I have this belief or this perspective or this thought, whatever you want to call it. And whatever your religious background is, whatever you believe, this isn't to challenge that. This is just something to think. Think of it as a thought exercise. What if heaven, or the highest frequency, love, this place that you're trying to go, it's not that you have to do these things to get there necessarily, or that you have to worship this God or that God or anything like that. What if the universe or God, the energy is just saying that, if you base everything on the frequency scale, that a frequency is a frequency, just like you can't listen to 2 radio stations at once. Whatever you're dialed into is what you're dialed into, and that'll be your experience. So what if heaven, the most high frequency that everything's trying to teach you to receive, is something you tune into? It's a state of being. Whether you're alive or not, it's a state of being that you're tuned into. And you can't get there unless you're tuned into it. So all the things that it's saying to do, it's not saying, well, you have to do this and then I'll accept you. It's saying you get to do these things to tune your frequency or your receptor. You tune it. That's what it's guiding you to do. So this vision of self that you see in the future, as long as it's not helping, or as long as it's not hurting anybody, as long as it's not taking from anybody, and it's always uplifting, being that rising tide, that's your guidance system of who you can become. And when you do it, it's about who you are within, not what you have on the external. I promise you, the external will never be fulfilling. Not in the long run. If you don't change you, and you somehow get to where you're trying to go, you're going to bring you there. The you that feels lack right now. The you that feels lost right now. You will bring that version of you there. And when you get there, you'll feel just like you do now, in fact, even worse, because you'll have all the things that you thought would make you happy. You have all the things that you thought would be the cure. You have the perfect spouse. You have the perfect bank account. You have the perfect job. You have the perfect children. You have the perfect health. But you don't even want to be here because you're not right within. The journey is always inward. So take that perspective that heaven or the highest frequency is actually a state of being. And when you operate in a certain way, you feel it. Your I am statements guide you there. When you say I am blank, you are forcing a perspective. You are forcing a filter in which you have to view the world. So when you say I am God, the highest frequency there is, and then you operate as God would, loving, forgiving, respectful, healing, all of those things, what do you think your experience is going to be? If you believe in the Bible and things like that, when God came to earth, he wasn't accepted very well in the form of Jesus. It wasn't for the external. It was always for the internal, the state of being. Chase that version of yourself. Do you know how good it feels to feel good within when everything is on fire external? When you realize nothing can actually take anything from you because you're not any of these things. In fact, this material experience is just that, an experience that you're having, and you get to tune the frequency which you experience it in. You get to. You don't have to. Most people don't. You get to. And you can use the law of attraction to attract any life that you desire, but you should use it to attract an internal state. That should be your guidance system. So create that version of you in the future. Love that version of you in the future. In fact, it will change over time because how you initially create it is based on your current situation. But as you heal, as you grow, as you forgive, as you expand, that vision of what you want to become will shift along with it. It has to. Just like that book you're reading, if you've never spent a moment in engineering, it makes no sense to you. You can read it 100 times. It doesn't make sense. You don't even know these words, what they mean. But once you start spending time in engineering, learning engineering, the book starts to mean something different. The frequency, the information in that book starts to mean something different. The author of the book starts to mean something different to you. So everything you observe, whether it's a podcast, a book, your own reflection, what you do with it is what you are, not what it is. If you watch the news and you perceive all the negative things about other people or other things, that's saying more about you than the news. The world is not as it is. It is always as you are. If we want to create a better world, or a more impactful world, a more loving world, a healthier world, a more forgiving world, we have to become these things. We are the creators. If I convince you that the world is as it is and you don't have the power and I can fix it, you're just giving your power to me. That's what everything does that wants your power. They tell you it's out of your control. They say these things are happening outside of you. It's taking away what you truly are. You are a creator of your experience. And once you unlock that, once you know that, you're right within. I'm not saying that bad things won't happen. The most positive, loving people have bad things happen to them. They die. They get in car accidents. They get sick. They get cancer. They get all of these things. But the truth is those things don't matter because they just create a different experience of understanding for you. And if you maintain your internal state of being, it can never be bad. If you're right within, there could be no negativity outside of you because it can't enter you, can't penetrate because your frequency is what you frequently see. So if you only feel the good within you, if you only see the good within you, then that's what you'll see in the world, even when the worst things are happening to you. Because it's not. You know it. It might be happening to your body, but it's not happening to you. It's happening for you, the observer. You observe always. Your perception is your reception. If you want to implement changes now, understand who you want to become. Look at that person. Love that person. Respect that person. Bring that person into the now. Have conversations with them. Lay out your day with them. Hey, this is what time we get up. This is what time the kids go to school. This is what time I go to work. This is how much I make. This is who I interact with. This is how it goes. And listen to what they say. They'll tell you. You'll feel it. You already know it now. You already know what's in your life that you don't vibe with. That's not in your frequency. And definitely you would not take there. Think about the friends that version of you would have. The acquaintances, the business partners, whatever you want to talk. The 5-year, the 10-year, the 20-year version of you. Think about the circle that version of you will be keeping. What in your life right now fits that circle? The things that fit it will go with you. The things that don't will either stay here or you'll stay with them. It's that simple. It's never what you do, it's what you don't do that truly makes a difference. It's what you can let go that truly makes a difference. It's what you can forgive that truly makes a difference. You're the creator of your experience, there's no doubt about that. What experience do you want to create? You don't have to do a self-help book. You don't have to do all these different things. Of course you can, they're all helpful. I mean, I'm a coach. I work with people to do this exact thing. But truthfully, it's always you. It's not the book, it's not the coach, it's not the lesson. It's always you and your perception of it. So consult with your higher self. The 5-year version of you in the purest form is closer to your higher self than you are now. The 10 years closer, the 20 years closer. Bring one of those to you, have a conversation about your life, analyze it, respect it, and then do something about it. There's a new episode coming out Friday. It's Wednesday when this came out. That gives you a whole day from listening to this, a whole day without anything, and then the next day. What could you change within then? How quickly will a week go by when it's the next Wednesday, a new episode is coming out then, and you're still tolerating the same stuff? You don't have to change everything at once. You don't even have to change the big things. Start small. Start with your thoughts. Do not tolerate thoughts that future you would have. That's the easiest step to apply. Well, I don't say it's easy, but it's the first step. It's the first step. Start controlling your thoughts. Once you get your thoughts in line with I am statements, with future visions, all those things, I am love, I am joy, I am happiness, I am wealthy, whatever ones you want to pick, align those thoughts in your mind. Then make sure your actions align. So here's an example of that. If you say, I am healthy and I make healthy decisions, that's a very powerful I am statement that I love. You go to a restaurant, you pull out the menu, you say, I am healthy, I make healthy decisions, I am healthy, I make healthy decisions. You're looking at that menu, and then you order some grilled chicken with a side salad, with a lemon water to drink. You just reinforced that belief, that statement. So the universe knows you're serious. You don't just think that, you are that. But then you're looking at it, and so you get the fried chicken with the side of mashed potatoes, a soda to drink, and then a cake for dinner, or for dessert. There's nothing wrong with eating that way. But is that something that 5-year version of you that's been saying, I'm healthy and I make healthy decisions and been doing that would order? You might think, well, it's a one-off thing. Is it? Is it? When do you make the shift where there's no more one-offs? When do you make the shift when you just are what you are? When there's no more excuses? I'm in this process. I am by no means saying I'm the master of this. In fact, I'll never say I'm a master. Someone that's on a true growth journey knows that there's no end in sight. You can always step further into a frequency. You can always step deeper into an understanding. So there is no point to where I say, I am the guru, I am the master, I am the all-knowing. If you ever hear me saying that, turn off the podcast. Don't listen to me anymore. I've lost my way. And the same is for you. You're always learning. You're always growing. Where you're at now is beautiful, but it's not better or worse than any other state. It's just the experience you're currently having. Give yourself permission to truly see things. Bring future self to you now so you can analyze your life and make the adjustments. Put the lines in the sand that this doesn't happen anymore. I don't tolerate this anymore. This is not acceptable anymore in my experience. It's not good or bad. It's just not part of my experience anymore. It's not part of my pattern. It's not part of my frequency. It's not a part of my future. Do this and become the rising tide that lifts all ships. Well, thank you so much for listening. I hope this episode was impactful. I didn't mean for it to go that long. Hopefully you sat through the whole thing. If you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link down below. It will keep you up to date with every single episode. And if you want to follow me on social media, there's my Instagram and TikTok down below. I appreciate all the follows there. I wanted to let you know that I still have one spot left. Thank you for everyone that's reached out, the conversations that we had. This is for someone specific. This is for someone that's an entrepreneur, that's running their business, that wants to do this exact thing that we talked about. That wants someone in their corner to really dive into their mind and make these shifts. As I do this podcast, it is as I am. This is as I think. This is as I process. This is as I observe. So if you'd like that in your life, if you want to talk more about that, the best way to reach me is by Instagram, or there's an email down below. It's the easiest way. We can talk, and maybe it's not the right fit. Maybe it's not the right fit for you, not right fit for me. Again, it's a specific type of individual that I'm looking for where I know the shift will be impactful, where they not only apply it to themselves so that their life starts to change. Even if you're having success, we were looking for that internal shift, but their business starts to change so they can get that healing, that love within yourself, and then you can put it through your business so not only your employees feel it, but your consumers feel it. The people that actually use your product can feel the high level frequency that you're building within you. From top to bottom, you're the top and flowing all the way through. If that's something you're interested in, if you want to know a little bit more about it, again, Instagram or my email, just shoot me a message. I'd be happy to connect. We'll hop on a Zoom call, talk a little bit about it. And of course, it's always just great to meet you all and understand more about what it is that you're going through. Well, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.